Greetings, friends and Robloxians. Thanks for watching a Little Kingdom production. I'm here in Islands grinding away, and I was doing this grind with Tiny Task, which is the keystroke recorder, and I was actually not really playing. I was letting the game play for me, doing all these repetitive tasks. Gets me the stuff that I want, but don't necessarily want to manually do all day. Sometimes I'll set Tiny Task up and then I'll just watch it happen for like 15-20 minutes while I drink a cup of tea or something. Usually I put a movie on or go do some real life tasks like do the dishes or a load of laundry, whatever needs to be done, cook some dinner. Possibilities are endless with Tiny Task and what you can do in real life while it's playing the game for you. So this doesn't just apply to Roblox Islands. You could do Tiny Task with all kinds of different games. I'm going to show you this elaborate setup that I've got right now. Got my start flag here, obby start flag, so that when I run off the end of this farm, I'm going to start right back here at the beginning and start this process over again. I'm going to hit record and then I'm going to start the motions. So right now I don't have anything in my hand. I want the watering can and the leaf clippers. So the first thing I'm going to do, since I've already got all these flowers ready to go, I'm going to pick them. So I'm just going to run down the line and pick all the flowers. And the second thing I'm going to do is water the fertile flowers. And then I'm going to get my leaf clippers out and I'm going to cut all these trees' leaves because I need lots of maple leaves to craft things like maple leaf blocks, yellow maple bushes, and all kinds of different things that I like to craft. I'm going to use the hotkey, so I'm going to press F8. It is now recording. You can tell by the red button there. It's going to record every motion of the mouse and every stroke of the keyboard. Line that up, and I'm going to run down the line and start picking up these flowers. And I will time-lapse this, so it's going to look a lot faster in the video than what's taking place in the actual game. So you can see the timer for the obby. I'm actually going quite slow. The last time I set this up, 3 runs down this aisle took me almost 3 minutes. So Tiny Task is at 50 seconds now. I did have a little delayed start when I hit the recording, just to line the mouse up and take a moment to make sure it was all correct. Okay, so I've reached the end of the minute. I jump over the last block because I have a stopper there. Now I'm going to get the watering can out and I'm going to start watering. I don't always hit every flower because I'm going to be doing this over and over again. I eventually do hit every flower. I find the hyacinths are very difficult to hit sometimes. They've got a smaller hitbox. I don't know what it is. The game mechanic seems to not give them a very big target. Alright, now that I've reached the end of that, I am going to jump over the end and get my clippers out. And I'm going to start clipping these trees. So I put the mouse up above my head as I pass each tree. It's clipping the leaves, and you can see I'm collecting all those leaves down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. I usually collect about 40 in one run, but it takes them a little bit of time to repopulate their leaves. Each time I run through this, I'm not actually going to be getting those leaves. So I might get them this time, and then on the next run I might not get any. I'll get some, and then I won't get some, and then yeah, alternating like that. If I made this farm twice as long, I might be able to consistently get them, but that's a lot of resources, and I'm not sure I want to push Tiny Task that hard. Oops, I made a mistake there because I changed my mouse view. I right-clicked on the mouse and I changed my view. I can't do that, so we're going to do that over again. We get our view set up just as we want it, and then I'm going to hit record, get out the watering can, and start running down the way. Just line your mouse up on the flowers. Don't change your view. You want to be able to do this without changing your view. A nice thing about Tiny Task is you're able to save different tasks. I've got a massive berry farm on an alt account that I like to set up AFK farming. Sometimes I leave it on for a day or two, and I'm getting millions of berries every day. Very careful not to change the view. Now I'm clipping the leaves. but it's not actually clipping any this time because I got them on that last run. If I do get any this time, it just means that I missed them on that last run. I've already got a couple flowers that came in. They might have been from the round of watering previous. Last run through for the recording. I'm going to pick those flowers up. So now I get my mouse lined up just right. Don't change the view, and I'm going to start picking. Just pressing the F key over and over and over as I run through this. You could use an auto key presser. I've used auto key pressers before, and I don't really like the way they work. Using the OP auto clicker is pretty good. I definitely use that. Very simple tools to do repetitive things. Alright, that is a full loop. Now I stop the recording. Now don't change the view at all. I'm going to double check my settings. I've got continuous playback. It's going to go at 1 time speed, so the same speed that I recorded it. And now I'm going to hit Control and Control again, Alt Shift P. Now it's in playback mode, and you can see in the top right hand corner it's the first set. It's got the time and the sets that you've completed. So right now it's doing 1 of 0. I'm going to speed this way up and let this go on for 3 or 4 sets. Now it's on to the leaf cutting. It didn't get them the last time because I had gotten them the first time on my scratch recording. I did a huge flower farm using auto flower pickers, and I believe that it was lagging out so badly because of all the oil that I had going on. So I find it much easier to just set up TinyTask to breed all these flowers. It would be so nice if flower breeding was a skill. Everything you do manually should give you more skill points than if you do them in an automatic process. However, flower farming is not a skill whatsoever, but flowers are so valuable, and there aren't all that many people who are flower farming. But for me, the flowers are the resources to craft blocks, colored glass, colored blocks, furniture, all kinds of different stuff. Now the plushies. Alright, so now we're starting round 2. The flowers take 10 minutes on average to grow. Within about 10 minutes of that last watering, the first watering that I did, flowers are going to start coming in. And after a while, because I do miss some flowers in the watering cycle, they start to come in at different times. So there's not going to be every single flower breeds and populates at the same time. I'll come back after a few hours and it'll just be mismatched all over the place, little holes. But then you also get rocks that grow and grass that grows, those weeds that I call them, they spawn in. So I find it's helpful when you're doing a flower farm like this, have another area set up with lots of grass where that stuff can spawn in. There's some flowers coming in. The color choices I've set up here were to get more yellows and oranges, and then I just had to think about the way the flower farm needs to be set up to minimize the amount of mundane flowers you get. So if you don't know what that's all about, definitely check out my video on Zero Mundane Flower Garden. Alright, starting the 3rd round. Now that you've seen this process happen, let's talk about some other things that you can do with AFK farming with TinyTask. I was discussing with people on the DV's Discord the wood farms. First time I ever saw TinyTask in action on another player's island, I was trying to figure out what they were doing. They were doing a repetitive motion over and over, cutting down trees. Just by setting up all these trees, have your auto replant sapling on, and then you just go down the line chopping your trees. In fact, I could add that to this cycle here if it wasn't so important for me to cut these leaves, but I want to get more leaves than I do wood. I have set up AFK wood farms like this many times. In my original TinyTask video, I think I called it How to Get Rich Quick in Islands. I set up all kinds of different tables showing how to cut wood into planks. Another thing to do is to smelt ores and iron. If you just set up a bunch of furnaces, you set up a bunch of furnaces and fill them one time with like gold or iron ore if you've got tons and tons of iron ore on you, and most people do. Great way to build up your experience points for anything that you do repetitively except for flower farming. I've used Tiny Task to fish. It's not super successful, but it works. During the fishing festival, it was a great way for me to get lots of fish and not have to sit there and do the task over and over. All right, you guys, I think you have seen enough. That's going to be it for this video. Please make sure to hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you use Tiny Task for. If you've got any elaborate setups like this. I've also heard people talk about other macro programs that they use. I don't know. Why are they better than Tiny Task? I'm not looking for an argument, but just tell me your opinions. Would love to know. If you convince me, I might decide to go ahead and try another macro. Again, thanks for watching. Have fun and keep it imaginary.